Keith and myself, and just one word, Coach, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely awesome.
This
That's
place
2 words, but I'm going with that.
We're underway, and it's Charlotte attacking first. Mark Steffens told us they're going to come out and try to win this game. He said he told his players, if you play for a draw tonight, you will lose, even though the draw will get them into the playoffs. And his opposite number, Mike Anheuser, well, he has no choice but to go forward and try to win this game. A draw will not be good enough for the guys in yellow and black.
Ken, and you're right, and Mark Steffens is exactly right. You got to go out and play your normal game, which is trying to win. And this is a team, Charlotte, that can keep the ball moving well, can get into the attack, and they have to do that. You can't sit back, especially playing away, and hope that you can last 90 minutes. Having said it gets to the end of towards the end of the game, obviously you'd be a lot more conservative.
This portion of the match brought to you by USLsoccer.com. Scores, stats, highlights, and more. USLsoccer.com, the official website of United Soccer Leagues. Here's Mike Zayer chipping one into the box. First chance of the evening for Charleston, and it goes lacking. Front men, Zach Prince and Dane Kelly.
We see this is Mike Zayer, who's moved into the left midfield to try to get a little bit more attacking into the game, and cuts into his right foot to play that ball in almost on the end of Prince. And it's one of the things that Mike Anheuser has done is tried to put some players in positions where they can be better in attacking, even though it's at the same system. He hasn't moved anyone out of the back or anything, and gone to 3 in the back. However, he will do that if they have to towards the end.
Here's Dane Kelly, the swift Jamaican, carrying the ball to the far side of the box. He's met there. The foul called. Here in the second minute, there's Greg Dalby. Great story, a former MLSer. And how he came to Charlotte, Mark Steffens says, is literally a miracle through a connection through the chaplain of the Colorado Rapids. Steve Shack knew him, and goalkeeper coach David Kramer. And when Greg Dalby just felt called to something different in life, he wound up with the Charlotte Eagles, and they're thrilled to have him because he's a terrific guiding force at the back for the guys in white.
Those chaplains know how to create miracles, don't they?
There you go.
Dalby was a miracle for Bobby Clark for 4 years at Notre Dame, an All-American, and one of the best players in the Big East, one of our youth international players as well, and had some time in the MLS also.
Here's Darren Toby playing this ball wide, and Shane Roberts will play it into space and a little too long. Here at Blackbaud Stadium, this pitch will play 120 yards long by 72 yards wide, so a lot of space to cover tonight, and it is very warm. Temperature in the mid-80s at kickoff, but high humidity. We did have a burst of thunderstorms this afternoon. That was actually a little bit scary, but it's cleared out. It's a cloudy night, but this game is going to be played at a high pace for 90 minutes because both of these teams want to get that fourth and final playoff spot in the American Division. Here's Prince getting his head to this one. Dane Kelly heads it up in the air. It'll drop here to Nicky Patterson. Patterson, the Iron Man, played every game, the only member of the battery to do that. And it will ride out on the far side. Alex Kasky wins the throw. Here's Prince, dispossessed. Tackle there, nicely done. First shot goes off Josh Reif right at the top of the box. We play on. Charleston players wanted a handball, they wouldn't get it. Now Sean Flatley, told you he's in there because John Wilson picked up a red card in their last game of their 2-game road trip down to Orlando, which they lost both. And the coincidence here is that the winner of this match will face Orlando in the first round of the playoffs. So it could be Charleston going back there again.
Well, interestingly, not only Wilson get an ejection in that game, there were 6 cautions to Charleston players in that game, and I think 3 to Orlando as well.
Here's Josh Reif, the Eagles captain. Went a little bit too far for Toby up front. Actually, they were looking for Bundu up front. We'll try from the left side. Juan Guzman. Now here's Bundu. And that one put just too far on the far side for Mark Bloom, who was coming up from that left-hand side. 31st meeting all time between these two clubs in a rivalry that goes back 19 years, and the Battery has had the better of play, and they've got a chance here. It's a shot from the top of the box, and the Battery will score. Well, Zach Prince didn't make the most of his first attempt, But he buried that one from the 18, and in the 5th minute, the Battery's up 1-0.
Well, Ken, you just said it, that Charleston had the better of the beginning. Have a look at this. Dane Kelly, a look-away pass, and Zach Prince played locally at the College of Charleston. He did that there, and he did it again today, and Charleston gets that early goal, and they only scored 9 goals, now 10 here at home, and certainly the one that it's, now everything's up for grabs. All of a sudden it's Charlotte that has to have a goal now to be able to advance.
That's Zach Prince's first goal of the year, and it is a huge one coming in the 5th minute. We told you that the Battery has had trouble scoring. In fact, they had scored just 20 goals in their first 23 games, now 21 goals on the season. Only Dayton now has scored fewer goals, but they're 3rd in the league in goals against. So Andrew Dykstra has to be breathing a little bit easier at the back now that he's got that 1-goal cushion to deal with. Started to say that this series, which goes all the way back to 1993, has been decidedly in Charleston's favor. They've won 21 of the 30 previous matches with 4 draws. None of that matters tonight, though, because these teams need a victory, and here's maybe oh my goodness, what a goal! Mike Zayer with a left-footed blast to the upper 90.
You just said why Mike Zayer was put up into the left midfield for the attack, and he's just shown why. Look at this strike. This is one of the goals of the year for Mike Zayer. And also his first goal of the year, the nice flick on for that, and that is the way you strike a volley. Look at that, head down, shoulders forward, nice and clean. And you see that, his first goal of the year to go along 1 minute after Zach Prince had his first goal of the year. And by the way, on Zach Prince, it was Dane Kelly's first assist of the year.
Rick Wiltsey will get the helper on that one, and Mike Zayer can breathe a little bit easier now. That is now probably the most famous piece of video that he appears in, because until that moment, it was probably that JoJo video from several years ago that he was in that his teammates haven't let him live down since. Now it's that goal.
They won't let him live it down, but they will still let him watch this goal as well.
He can do whatever he wants now. His team's up 2-0 at home, less than 8 minutes into the match, and now Charleston seriously in the driver's seat. There is the league leader in assists, Jorge Herrera, who will take the first corner kick of the night from the near side flag. First set piece chance for the Charlotte Eagles, who find themselves down 2-0. They'll try to get the second ball to be dangerous here. It's kind of duffed in front, cleared away from the 6.
They really had a clear shot at that as well, coming in on the ball that was just left for it, and needs to do a lot better, put that in and try to change this momentum around for Charlotte. But what a dream start this is for Charleston. Any game plan that Charlotte Eagles had coming in, it changes now, doesn't it?
They knew they were, to be fair, they don't need 3 goals, but they don't want to give up 3. I mean, they need 2 goals because a draw gets them through. So if you may have thought about, yeah, we want to win this game going in, but when you go down 2-0 in the first 8 minutes, you'll take what you can get.
Absolutely, and the big thing right now is that, they obviously have come out flat, a second game in a row that they've come out flat. Same thing against Harrisburg City, the other day, where they could have clinched it on Wednesday and they lost 1-0. But flat again right now, and this time they've been punished for it. They need to have patience, and by the way, patience has probably been the big key to their success after the 0-4-1 start.
Well, patience is a virtue, and this is a virtuous club, so we'll see how they weather the remainder of this first half. We're just 9 minutes in and change, and Charleston, on the strength of goals by Zach Prince and Mike Zayer, lead at 2-0. Nothing doing there as Saliu Bundu tried to fight through Sean Flatley. Now here come the Eagles moving forward again. Shane Roberts will go back here to Darren Toby, who's drifted backwards a little bit. Here's Herrera. Herrera will switch it to the left-hand side. Sent into the box, headed towards the goal, and just wide of Andrew Dykstra's goal.